Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your steward of Gundor, your director of S.H.I.E.L.D., your viceroy to the end of days, SuperCliff, back again with another fantastic comic book review video. Now to quote the famous King Théoden, so it begins. And indeed it does. For Marvel's newest event starts here with Empyre, Avengers issue number 0, written by the glorious Al Ewing with the art drawn by Pepe Larraz. And our epic event begins with a flashback on the planet Hala 1 million years ago as we bear witness to the ancient Kree slaughtering the peaceful plant-like species known as the Cotati, all in an attempt to gain favor from the Skrull Empire. And it's also in this moment that we are witnessing the birth of the Kree Empire, as well as the inception of the never-ending intergalactic war between that of the Kree and the Skrulls. Now, it's soon revealed that this wasn't a flashback in the context of story structure, but a dream, a vision, had by billion-dollar playboy Tony Stark. And because Al Ewing loves continuity, we are reminded that it was the courtesy of the character Immortus who provided Tony with a vision which showcased the beginnings of the Kree-Skrull War many years ago. Tony then starts to question as to why in this particular moment in his life is he having dreams regarding the Kree-Skrull War. Well, it only becomes much more convenient for when Tony receives a transmission from Carol Danvers, telling her fellow Avenger that there's currently a situation. We're soon taken within the confines of the Avengers Quinjet, which is flying off into space, towards the moon, for a telepathic broadcast was sent to Avengers Mountain, asking for help. And once again, because Al Ewing is such a boss with following continuity, we're given backstory, whilst it's weaving organically into the story. Check it. Back in the day, the Skrull Empire, once a peaceful enterprise, visited the planet of Hala, where its inhabitants, the barbaric Kree and the peaceful Cotati, coexisted. From there, the Skrulls promised the inhabitants advanced technology, and so the Skrulls thereby held a tournament on the moon. The contest being was whoever could use sparse local resources most efficiently would win the favor of the Skrulls. The Kree built a city, whereas the Cotati built a garden. The Cotati won, and that didn't really sit well with the Kree. So yeah, you all know what happened afterwards. So yeah, the Avengers land on the moon, only to find that the area where the transmission originated from is located in the middle of a big-ass jungle. As the Avengers begin to scout out the area, they are suddenly attacked by a Kree sentry, which is essentially a two-legged Metal Gear. However, this sentry appears to be different. More specifically, its robotic head is replaced with something terribly plant-like. And although the Avengers are getting their butts kicked, they are luckily saved by ex-foe, ex-Avenger, Swordsman. But wait, you're probably asking yourself, who the hell is this guy? Well, thankfully the comic does a great job in giving y'all his backstory. For you see, the Swordsman was the surrogate father/teacher to Hawkeye, who later turned villain, but eventually found his inner good and became an Avenger. Unfortunately, the Swordsman was killed during one of the space adventures the Avengers had, and because both the Swordsman and the celestial Madonna, Mantis, fell in love around that time, Mantis brought the Swordsman back to life as a Cotati. The two then eventually had a kid together, named Sequoia, who the Avengers are soon met by, and apparently Sequoia is the supposed Messiah, the foretold one. Someone who will bring balance to the Force. That kind of guy. Sequoia informs the Avengers that he intends to grow a garden on what's left of the old Kree city, the moon's last area of the past, a step forward towards a Cotati paradise. And with Thor's thundering skills, our god of thunder provides the garden with a bit of rain, thereby speeding up the growing process. Later that night, as everyone is sitting around the campfire cooking s'mores, Iron Man asks about the Kree Sentry hybrid that they fought earlier. Sequoia responds, telling Iron Man that the Sentry was composed of half Kree technology and half Skrull mutation. Basically, Sequoia insinuates that both the Kree and the Skrulls have ended hostilities against one another and have united under one banner against a common foe, the Cotati. For we are told that Hulkling, who's the son of Captain Marvel of the Kree and Princess Anella of the Skrulls, has taken up the throne, uniting the two rival empires as one. And currently, a combined massive fleet is heading towards their location to burn the garden as a propaganda victory of sorts. Captain Marvel then reminds us of the events which transpired back in Marvel's Incoming, issue number 1, where our characters saw firsthand the Kree and the Skrulls working together, with both of their agents getting murdered, one of them being killed by a tree bursting from his body. And prior to the agent's death, his last words were, "Beware the trees." But that's impossible, as the Swordman points out, for the Cotati are a peaceful people. Regardless, Iron Man reminds the team that they are the Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes, and that no matter the odds, the Avengers stand together, no matter what. And though the Avengers stand united, How will they react when they find out the giant space armada is being led by Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four? Empyre Avengers issue number 0 was a great issue towards jump-starting Marvel's summer event, while also providing us, the readers, with the necessary backstory/information needed for the event going forward. I enjoy seeing how the Cotati's garden is given this sort of biblical Adam and Eve garden vibe, as well as an ominous feeling that perhaps the Cotati aren't entirely peaceful. Clearly, there are agendas on all sides, and I'm curious to see how that will play out. I'm a big fan in how this event is shaping into becoming a combination of the Kree Skrull War, that of Annihilation, and the original Civil War event. But if I'm going to be 100% honest, the main standout in this issue is Pepe Lazar's art. It's so fun looking, but it makes this issue better than it really is. Good job, Pepe. Without a doubt, this issue's sole objective is meant to give us the Avengers' point of view as to where they stand, and though nothing incredible happens, overall I would say this is a must-read prior to Empyre issue 1. Empyre Avengers issue 0 gets an 8 out of 10.